I think it's really important to have a contract for every project because it just gives that clarity and security for everyone involved. And it really sets out kind of how we're going to work together right from the start.
So obviously the relationship between a client and an architect is crucial for the success of the project. And the RIBA contract helps to start a very clear relationship, a very transparent relationship between the two parties.
They provide a framework for us to work from. So they define terms that we work against. They make our lives a lot easier.
Yeah. And once we're using the contract, then they act as a reference, so we can always refer back to them if in any tricky situations on site or throughout kind of the scope of works.
It's also in quite an easy to understand language, so it helps because most of our clients aren't used to some of the terms that we deal with in the sort of built environment, so they can easily understand it. And the same with the contractors. A lot of them are small scale contractors and they can easily read and understand the contract, which helps.
I'd say that the differences between RIBA contracts and other contracts that we've used before in projects is primarily the clarity of them. They're very legible, and they're much more kind of approachable for clients and then also for us. But it also has a kind of digital aspect to it as well, which is really, really helpful. You know, now when we go onto our account, we have all of the contracts for every single project, and we can, you know, check that everything is kind of in one place and really clearly kind of filed. They're also super customizable, so you can adapt the contract to suit the project and to suit also the client kind of requirements.
The RIBA contract allows in some cases, especially in the case of the residential contract, a greater flexibility. For example, when it comes to the construction contract, it allows for the client to be contract administrator, which is something that in some cases can be advantageous. We usually suggest that for smaller projects, but I would say projects below a certain amount of budget are definitely worth considering for that sort of setup.
And especially kind of while we haven't been able to meet people face to face sometimes, it's been really important to have a way of digitally signing our contracts. And so we've been using a kind of range of different approaches, sort of online software, then through add-ons to some of the software that we've got. But now that that's embedded in the RIBA contracts, that's fantastic to have that functionality that we've been kind of searching for.
I think it is a powerful legal tool when it comes to the relationship with the contractor. Many clients are very aware that things can go south in some cases, especially during the construction process. And obviously having very clear conditions laid out provides a high degree of protection for them from a legal point of view.
It empowers the client to take it on further by themselves. Even if we're not involved on site or going through to the next stages, they feel empowered because they understand what they're signing into. They feel like they can do that.
It's a really important tool that supports us in upholding our duties of professionalism.